Oh, wow.
Okay. Okay, Dick, make sure you get this on the blog.
Not me.
Our exchange student has a huge plate
This is
of
not
bacon.
Our guests and visiting
Our
Rotary.
exchange student has a massive plate of bacon.
Mike Kazan, third time.
Yeah.
We have our city manager, Karen here.
We have David and Lynn going to talk to us real quick with veterans groups.
Welcome.
Good morning, this is my youngest son, Remy. He's a junior at St. Bernard's High School.
Welcome. Visiting
Hi,
Rotary.
Darren Engel, visiting Rotarian again.
Thanks,
Good to be
Darren.
here.
Visiting Rotary. Good morning. So we got a quick update from Tomas here before you start down that bacon.
Last week I went to the playhouse. It was like a jazz concert, and that was really fun. I went to some friends. On the weekend I went to Andrea's birthday, and we went to the North Square, and that's really impressive to see like there is a lot of people, and the community is very active. That's really cool. And yeah, it was, we went to the sanctuary on Tuesday because they have like a small event. And then after that there was a small like play from people in the sanctuary. And like, this is a nice picture of Steve and a fancy seats. Yeah. And so that was really cool.
Let's see, do we have any interactors here? Doesn't look like, so skip on that. So Shannon, we missed you last weekend.
Oh my God.
How was your birthday?
It was amazing. Yeah, 46. Yeah, I didn't do anything. I was working, riding my unicorn.
Yeah.
You can't give me a big old unicorn balloon and think it's gonna stay in the air. I like that. Yes, and one of my coworkers made me that cake. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, yeah.
See you. And Andreas. As well, happy birthday.
Oh, thanks.
What's your birthday?
I had a barbecue at my house and I tested out my new smoker and the ribs are amazing.
Nice.
And yeah, 48.
Woo!
How does that seem like our anniversary celebration?
Yeah, might as well.
Our charter night. So Howard, you have a little tale to tell about your travels down the road river this morning.
My wife and I went on this amazing hike for 4 days nearby down the Rogue River. We started out not too far from Grants Pass and walked down the river to a place not too far from Gold Beach. And we stayed at a lodging that's available for 3 nights. And they provide meals and accommodation for us, so it's a very comfortable trip. And it's up and down along the river, but not too much up, because you're not climbing up any mountains. You're just basically going down the river. So, and in the process, we had a guide And he was taking our deer down on the raft. So occasionally we could jump aboard the raft when we got tired of hiking. And while we were doing that, we
Can you guide me through this picture? You sent this one, I was just kind of wondering what we were looking for.
I'm not sure what that is.
I dropped my phone.
You sent it. You wanted to brag
Oh,
about
I
it.
know what happened. My wife got a lot of photographs. It just turned to the one with the bear.
There.
Yeah, we did see a bear that was looking for handouts down the river as our raft went by. And then we saw a number of eagles. And then can you move to the otter? Oh, there's an otter configuration, that's natural, a natural formation of the rock there. There's a lot of interesting rock formations for geologists amongst you. And then we saw this family of otters. And they were preening themselves. And as you can see, there were 4 of them, mother and youngsters. And they then slid down the rocks and they followed us down the river for a while. It was really quite amazing. So I was just amazed that there's no, no people occupying houses along the river in that stretch. It's very wild and very scenic. Yes.
Federal designation.
Well, scenic.
Anyway, and it's so nearby, so I highly recommend it. You don't have to hike the 40 miles. You can stay at one lodge and hike out from there.
Yeah.
And very, very great experience. Thanks.
Take a moment. I think we had a couple of guests sneak in. Don't mind introducing yourselves.
So this week we had our interviews for our outbound for 2021. And Lila Cohen is our candidate. She's in the process of doing her long-term application now, which is due the first part of November. And after that, she'll be our candidate to go out. And she is an amazing young woman. We're really thrilled that she accepted to represent our club and to represent Rotary.
This is my dad, Ed. My sister, Iris.
Kevin is back. Welcome.
How you doing? Good morning. Well.
Thanks for coming. So, Lisa,
Oh, okay. So,
dug up an old photo.
next week starts backpack for kids, and you guys can just pass these around. One at each table, you can kind of send it around. I sent an email out. I sent an email out on Tuesday, I think, or Wednesday, in reference to backpack for kids starting up next week. And I'm going to do the first pickup. And but I divided our whole club into 3 different seasons: fall, winter, and spring. And so you'll look on your list, and I know it's kind of small, but I'll also send it to you in an email, so that you know those that we would love to have participate after our meetings in the room over here to fill all the bags. And I sent instructions about where the schools are and that type of thing. I don't know how many kids we have right now. Usually it starts about 32 or so. John is my co-partner, so we're going to send out, he's going to send out some Genius so people can sign up. And it'll start next week. And yes.
Did everybody get the email?
No, only the first group. Oh. Only the first group. Okay. So, and then come fall, well, you can actually, looking at this sheet, you can kind of see where your names are, but it's pretty much based on the roster. The first 20-something went into the first group, and then the second group, and the third group. So, you get an idea, you're towards the end of the alphabet, you're at the end, you're in the spring.
So I'll try to get the sign-up genius out this weekend, and I'll resend it every week. Next week is the first week and the district governor is here, and I assume we'll be doing a photo, so please, we could use some help next week after the photo. We need to come back up here and pack, please.
Delivering tends to be something that we have a hard time with people joining up to do, but it really does not take that time to deliver to the schools. It's just it takes maybe 20 minutes at the most. And so if we get things packed quickly, you can get out and they can get their things. And I know that we've had problems last year with Arcata Elementary, but I talked to their new resource person, and they're going to try to be there, so you don't have to knock at the back door and then go to the front. You don't have to take all that time. We're going to try to prearrange that, so make sure that that's open and that can be done. Okay. So can I go on to the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
The nice thing is
Thank you. I don't have the posters done yet, but I kind of wanted to wait for Taste of Blood and all that come to an end before we did Taste of the Holidays. But our first meeting is next Tuesday here at the Grill at 5:30. I have my committee members that have helped out in the last couple of years. Anybody else is interested in helping, please join us at our meeting next week. I'm going to try to have meetings every other week, and then it'll go to every week as we get closer. I sent out all the applications to all the vendors, so I'm starting to get some back, so the wheels are going to start turning. And big highlight this year, and I just got the approval that we could do that, is we're going to go zero waste. So I'm ordering 500 appetizer plates. I'm going to start with 500, I'm going to need more. And forks, so some stainless steel appetizer forks. The glasses we give away. The napkins, I'm probably going to do the compostable napkins, because since it's appetizers, people like to kind of not use the same napkin all the time, and so I'm going to stick to that for now. But it's going to be good, so hopefully we can get a lot of people to help recycle the dishes if we run out of dishes at each station.
We need to wash the dishes.
Wash the dishes. Sorry. Yeah, thank you. That's it.
Awesome, thanks.
Any questions?
Next week,
Yeah,
Tuesday.
thank
Let's see, Dustin.
So, Remy, you want to stand up? You were introduced this morning, right? Okay, great. So what we did, we mentioned this a couple weeks ago, that we were going to start a podcast around Rotary, and specifically starting around this club. Well, Remy and I got together on Monday, right? And we ran a pilot episode. So and it's pretty cool. Really, the first episode is just us talking back and forth, getting to know each other, and kind of talking about the future of his Crippled by Questions, which I'll let him tell you a little bit about, and then the direction we'll see this podcast going. So anyway, Remy, you want to say a few words about Crippled by Questions and about the pilot and whatnot?
Crippled by Questions was a podcast me and a few friends started, but we couldn't continue because they went off to college.
So you're continuing it.
Yeah, so we decided as a friend group to kind of have it be a platform where we all post our own podcasts, because we love doing them, and so they could do their own and we could do our own here, and post it to that kind of account. So so I started that with Rotary.
And how do they get to the first? If they want to listen to the pilots.
Well, we have an Instagram at CBQ Podcast, a website www.crippledbyquestions.com. But where all the podcasts are actually posted is on SoundCloud. But there's links and stuff all over Instagram and Twitter. If you just don't have a SoundCloud, you can just click on the link.
Great, and yeah, and eventually we'll get our own Rotary logo and stuff going, but then essentially we're being powered by Crippled by Questions at this point, which is great. So it's really fun to collaborate with Remy. He's got experience, he's got the equipment, and he's got the drive, so it's going to be fun. So let me know if you have any ideas or whatnot, and we'll send out some more info on how to get involved with it or listen to it if you can't find it through snapping photos here at Rotary and looking it up on Insta. So anyway, thank you, AJ, and that's that. So yeah.
Michael. From last week's meeting, took Wendy's presentation and it's going to be published at the Mad River Union. And he gave us a mention that we highlighted her program and just sharing the resources that are out there. So I want to thank you for doing that. Some more PR from the magazine. I'm not sure if you guys have seen, on October 1st they start a photography competition. So you can send your photos into the website and see if we can get that photo published from our local photographers here. I know there's some talented photographers out there, so give that a whirl. And then some upcoming events. I'll give you an opportunity to start with your fundraiser.
I'm Scott Pesh with Southwest Rotary, and this is my partner in crime, Jeff Pauley.
Old Town Rotary.
Old Town, that's right. Anyways, a little backstory. I put some cards, save the date cards, and some sponsorship forms on the tables. But Dr. Evan Buxbaum is a physician with St. Joseph Hospital, a pediatric physician. A few years ago, he lost a 4-month-old patient. And the patient, Onyx, was homeless. So from the stress of not having a consistent place to stay with the parents, he lost his life. And Dr. Buxbaum had this vision of trying to create 100 units of housing for homeless families. And so he collaborated this great project with other nonprofits, and they actually opened this past Monday. And what they've done is they bought an old former care home in Eureka on Lewis Avenue. And they transitioned that into 10 units of housing for families that were homeless. So they've opened, and these families are moving in, and they have enough room for a second phase of 12 more units. And we got Rotary involved. Jeff and I created this Yahtzee tournament last year, and we want the proceeds from this upcoming year to go towards that benefit to help build a playground for those families. And so I'll let Jeff talk about our tournament and give us the details on that.
So yeah, this is a true Rotary collaboration, 2 clubs working, a bunch of other people we should probably mention that are helping with this project. Arcata House, Strombeck Properties, the RCAA, and the Partnership of Health California, and of course St. Joe's. And so Scott mentioned we came up with this stupid idea for a Rotary tournament, and then all of a sudden it turned into a pretty darn good event, and we were sold out right away. And so this year we're looking to double our efforts, and we're going to be at the Sequoia Conference Center. We're looking for 250 players to play Yahtzee at one time. Sounds crazy, and it is. But we have it. We got it down pretty well, and you're all playing against each other, and we have table runners that take your score back up to our scoring thing. We have live updates as we go, and then it kind of works down to a final table, and there's cash prizes and fun throughout. But you can sponsor a table and play with your coworkers, or if you guys want to put together a table of Rotarians, we'll probably have a special Rotarian table. It's going to be, I think, 20 sponsored tables, and then there's enough for people individuals to play as well. It's very well run, organized. We have Rotaract, and lots of collaboration between clubs. And so we received a matching donation already from St. Joseph's Foundation, up to $25,000. Whatever we raise, they'll match. So that's huge. So we can, whatever you guys want to, if you are able to sponsor or come play, that effort's going to be doubled. And so we're pretty excited about that. We've already received a contribution of $20,000 from a Rotarian spouse in our club. And so we've already got the money. If we can just get this tournament to pay, we'll accomplish our goal and be done. So thanks for the opportunity to speak. And we have you save the date cards, sponsorship opportunities, and you can reach Scott or I to give you some more details.
Everything's on the sheet. The end goal of this is to raise $60,000. That's the cost of the playground. So we have 2020, and then we need to commit to our 2025, and we'll make our goal. That's the play. So thanks again, AJ, for everything. Thank you.
Any quick update for us?
I will be quick this morning. You have a
minutes. Karen Deemer, City Manager here for the City of Arcata. And the first thing I wanted to chat about, you probably all recall we got a little bit of rain about 2 days ago. So the official stats are in. And interestingly, just south of Samoa, we actually got only about 1.2 inches. It did fall in 34 minutes. But from the plaza north, we actually got about 2.2 inches. The storm just sat right here. We can certainly handle 2 inches of rain in the city of Arcata. We do it all the time, but we don't do it in 1 hour. So for those of you that have businesses that were affected by that, we are sorry, but we will just simply never have storm drain infrastructure to handle that kind of velocity coming in at that quick time. To that end, we do have sandbags that are ready to go for the rest of the season. They are available at South G Street at the Courtyard. If any of you do live in low-lying areas and want to get yourself prepped and ready for the winter season. This is the last weekend to finish the city's housing survey. I think I talked last month that we've got several housing updates, including our major housing element update, so appreciate the work that you're doing. If you haven't seen the Onyx facility of families, there were a couple of Arcata families that were also able to move into that. It's a fantastic facility that is part of our housing element too at all levels. At cityofarcata.org, you still can complete that housing survey over the weekend. It will close on Monday. Wednesday, we do have our annual hearing of unmet transit needs, so if you're experiencing any public transit issues that you want to share with the council, that would be Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. And lastly, our Coffee with a Cop this quarter is actually going to be up on campus. It is 9 to 1 on Friday, next Friday, up at the depot on campus, so if you're out and about. So I will be here for the rest of the meeting. If you guys have questions afterwards, please come and see me.
So all day today, Plans for Nonprofits up at 6 Servers. We have the Dana Sisters here to promote this, but it started at 11:30. Every pint goes to their fundraiser for a walk to end Alzheimer's. And then later tonight, we have
Right, we have our taste. If you've sold tickets, please tell me. Let me know that after the meeting. And we have more tickets. Some of you need some, I know. And just be there. It's going to be awesome. We have a DJ. We're going to have some nice music, nice food, nice silent auction items. It's going to be really fun.
And a pinata. Our sponsor, the corporate sponsors.
If they would fly to you, I would throw them to you right now. Because they're
I think they can fly. I think you should try it.
The first time someone
Just a quick plug. In Trinidad, there's a citywide festival. Most of the events are free, celebrating the California Coastal National Monument. There's going to be, the lighthouse will be open. There'll be live music, kayak tours, surf contests, on and on. So yeah, it's a huge schedule of events. You can go to trinidadcoastallandtrust.org or just show up sometime during the day. And Taste in Trinidad, another tasting thing, is happening tomorrow afternoon from 4 to 6. So yes, a lot of stuff. Oh, and then I'm kind of a nonprofit junkie, if you haven't noticed. I'm also on the board for Friends of the Dunes, and their annual Wine by the Sea event is the following weekend. And I have tickets, and if you want to ask any questions, see me. It's really fun out at the Nature Center where we do our Adopt a Highway. It'll be open up.
How much are those tickets?
Those tickets are $40 a piece, and there's 9 wineries. You go around and taste for the different wineries and Brett Schuler food. It's a really good event, so thanks.
Thanks, Carol. And we have some guests who are here to talk about a movie that's premiering at the Eureka Theatre.
Oh, here, I'll go. This is David Atlanta, and I've been seeing this on the veterans group, say on Facebook, and things will pop up like just for vets, and I just saw it in passing and I was excited about it, and then I get this email while I was on the road that they were going to have a show at the Eureka Theatre, and that could I get in touch? And I'm really excited. It's tomorrow night, and if you could tell us a little about it.
Yeah, the tickets are $10. We are working in partnership with the Veterans Resource Centers of America, and you have one here. This was started by a Vietnam vet 47 years ago. Our tickets are $10. It's a family film. We'd like you to bring your family if you can come. I know it's kind of short notice, but 6-year-old up to 99-year-old, it's like it. It's like an old-fashioned Hollywood movie. There's no violence, there's no sex, there's a lot of heart. So David is the director and I wrote it, so I'm speaking first. My parents were both World War II veterans, my mom too. And Dad was on the ground in Korea for over a year. So we saw the darkness that most of our veterans see. When we retired, Dad was West Point, so we were lifers. I say we, because it feels like it when you're a military family. And we came out to California and somebody called my dad a baby killer, and I looked at him and said, excuse me. Vietnam vets were coming back, they were spit on, they were called baby killers. I don't think a lot of Americans who lived through that era remember. Maybe they do, it can be painful if you were the one doing that, or on the other side if you didn't know that we really needed to defend these young men mostly, but women too, who were drafted. Today there's a generation that doesn't know what drafted means. In fact, one young man said they're all mercenaries to me once, and I didn't know what to say, so it took me this long to write this film. But I wrote it, and it is a family film again. It's soft power, but at the end you'll see what we're talking about, and we have Vietnam vets actually playing in the film. We are excited to bring it here to you because we know the communities here know what I'm talking about. Not everywhere do they. I mean, there's some neighborhoods I was told that are fighting over whether you should put flags up for Flag Day. It hurts my heart. I mean, we have to remember who our veterans are, and these young veterans coming home today, a lot of them have TBIs, which are traumatic brain injuries. We talk about that too, because people don't even know what that means. Their life's on the line, they come home and people either ignore them or are rude to them, okay? So we've got to, so go ahead.
Yeah, we're going to show a trailer, which is about 2 minutes if we still have time to do that. But I just wanted to say thank you very much, Tom, for having us here. Thank you guys for having us here. My dad was city manager of San Mateo. I used to go to Rotary with him all the time. This is the first time I've been back to Rotary since I was a kid, so it's great. I was thinking Lynn and I should join because we're filmmakers, which is a little different model. We're out, but now that we're promoting one of our own films, we have this new business model. Half of our ticket sales go to a local veterans organization to stay in that community. So we'll be working with, here we're working with the Veterans Resource Centers of America. They have an office in Eureka and Arizona, Nevada, and California mostly. But in other small towns across America, we're going to be working with the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the American Legion. We'll find the appropriate veterans organization and keep the money there. So come on out. I know it's busy weekend. You've got Friday night, and you've got Saturday up in Trinidad, but perfect day, Saturday in Trinidad, and then come see a movie in the evening. It's only $10. Great family film. I think you'll really enjoy it.
And let me say that because I harped on the veterans because it's a family film. There's music, there's a song contest, there's great Americana songs. We're friends with Ken Burns, and we're going to try to get him to endorse it. He endorsed our last documentary. We're filmmakers, we're not just students, so we hope you can come.
Sorry.
That's a good one. And there's our trailer.
We're going to gather together and pay a tribute to a departed comrade.
Oildale is a movie about a young girl and her 13-year-old brother who have to move their grandfather into a rest home and try to survive.
Our mom died 5 years ago. Dad left us with Gramps. The only income you've had is your grandfather's checks.
I know the feeling of being a veteran, of being sort of detached from what you did and what you do, and making your way in the world, and you have something to be proud of besides the hardship.
Looking for a place?
I have a room for it. The story is really about reality and music healing and people struggling but coming together to find a better time, a better life.
So, you the war veteran? Our Gramps is in World War II.
We're kind of following the tale of these two young kids, but we're getting a broader message about the veterans specifically in the background.
It's the place with a room for rent. Saw it on the board at the VA office.
Why don't you come up and sit with us for a while?
There's human beings struggling to survive and then struggling to take care of each other.
You're home now, brother. I'm standing guard. We're all about educating. We don't want people to be afraid of us
We want them to accept us.
Do you think I can sing?
Yes, you can. The film's about going for your dreams, about family, about never give up.
I've been on my own for the last 5 years, so I don't feel like anyone's little girl.
It's a beautiful film that went full circle.
Going home to see my mother.
Veterans are part of everybody's family. It's so many aspects that really can touch every single family to be able to relate to.
I'm just going home.
Thank you.
I wanted to have a save the date, October 24th, is World Polio Day. We are collaborating with the Mad River and the Arcade Noon Club for a fundraiser at the Six River Brewery. Maggie, I don't know if you want to...
It's really straightforward. You come, you have beer. 25% of the beer proceeds are going to be split between the 3 clubs, and each club is going to have a silent auction or a raffle, Dutch raffle, and I'll be asking you later if you want to pitch anything into that. But yes, and polio now.
Thank you. And then a reminder, Foundation Dinner North, October 26th.
If you haven't gotten the email about it with registration, raise your hand. Wow. Have not? I have not.
I don't think I did.
Well, raise your hand. Okay. Thank you.
Always ask me.
Trying to help here.
Thank you. And we'll end with the raffle. Oh.
Well, can I say something about that? If you haven't gotten emails on these things, you need to check in DACDB to see if your email address is correct. If you don't know how to do that, I'll do another presentation on how to get in it. It's great. It's a great little program, and I'm violating my own rule by not being on camera. But move your lips while I talk. Thank you.
Let me say that the roster and DACDB are exactly the same, so you can also
Oh,
look at
okay.
the roster.
Thank you.
And I'll send out the current version of the roster. So
It's on the table.
let me
right?
know if there are any mistakes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Raffle, please.
Draw a ticket. All right, read it out for us. Last 4 digits.
7091.
7091.
Going once, going twice?
Anyone?
7091.
Someone has it.
Not you.
They're gone.
Sorry.
We left early.
They're gone? 7091? No? All right, we're trying again.
7077. That's me.
There we go. All right. It was Cam.
Yep.
Oh, whoops.
No, go. You want it? Go.
Second.
Sleep at the wheel.
What's that one mean? $5. $5. There you go. All right, were you the other one?
Yeah.
All right, Cam. Draw your.
Yeah, nice try.
All right. More dollars. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. And turn it over to Terry for Paul Harris awardee.
And thank you for your film. I saw it Korea and Vietnam. In the 50s, we would try to rent a house, and the sign on the house would say no people of color, although that's not the word they used, and I'm not going to repeat what they said, or service people. So there was a lot of bigotry for a long, long time about people who served our country. So thank you. I'm going to do this quickly because somebody has to leave. Andreas, one of our newest Paul Harris fellows. Thank you very much. And someone else already left. Snag people better. So I'll give a quick polio update. The news in Afghanistan is kind of terrible. There have been 71 new cases this calendar year. The news in Nigeria is awesome. They have gone without a case for over a year, which means that in another year, if that situation stays stable, the entire continent of Africa will be certified polio-free. It's still happening in Pakistan and Afghanistan, mostly because of bigotry, idiocy, and war. I guess those all fit together. Anyway, there's been some attempt to intervene with the Taliban and with the government of Pakistan, and so we have hopes that eventually this is going to be solved. And there's always a lot of cleanup work, and it needs to be ongoing because babies are still being born and they need to be vaccinated. So Rotary is not going to stop. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is still matching us 2 to 1 for every dollar we donate to polio. So it's there's still a lot of hope, but it could be better. Anyway, we're going to have our auction, and thank you very much for everybody who brought their auction items. Thank you for paying attention to my list of, it's optional to bring an item, but not so much Melissa.
We're raising money for the Rotary Foundation. There's a lot of
Thank you for saying that. Yes. The Rotary Foundation, who is our philanthropic arm, and we do a lot of work internationally. The polio eradication campaign has been going on over 30 years, and also locally. So, thank you. Sometimes I just rattle on.
All right. So I'm really exhausted from all the work from Guatemala, so we're going to have Greg help me out. And the reason Greg's helping this morning is because he's our MC for tonight, but he's in Washington, D.C. So this is Greg.
Will it be that Greg tonight as well?
This is Greg, right here. This is him.
There he is.
So if anyone wants a selfie with Greg, you can have one and pass it around. All right, we're going to start with this.
Is John, are you?
You want help? You can help.
See how optional works with parents?
You don't have to.
There was no question mark at the end.
So we're gonna
Now, just for the new people, I am the eldest of 5 children, and I just am bossy by nature, and my whole family knows it.
So don't take it personally. She does it to everybody.
All right, this is from Susan Johnson. It is Spa Day at Hellsport. Enjoy a day just for you at Hellsport, Arcata, or Eureka on Myrtle Avenue. A 60-minute massage, a 50-minute one-on-one session with a trainer in the recovery room. It sounds bad. For a stretching program. I know. Well, I'm just reading it now. Lunch for 2 at the Cafe Hellsport. Queen Bee lotion and a Hellsport towel and water bottle. So,
cool.
All right, we're going to start this at $50. Do I have 50? Anybody $50? You got 50, Lori? Do I have 60? You got 60 here. Do I have 70? Anybody 70? This is 70. We got 70, Lori. 80. Do I hear 80? Anywhere 80? 80, 80, 80. Come on, this is worth like a massage. 80. Don't worry about the stretching, the recovery part. This is
stretching is good.
Stretching's good. 80. We got 80. Do we have 90? We've got 90. Do I have 100? Have 100. 110. 110. Do I have 110? 100 going once. 110 in the back.
You go for it, Kevin! Gary, I don't buy gift baskets that don't have alcohol.
I saw you distinctly raise your hand. All right. What are you withdrawing your help for polio? I'm just asking. Are you withdrawing your bid? Okay, we're back here. We've got
Put a bottle of tequila in it, you're good.
We've got 100 here. Do I have 110? He withdrew his bid. Don't tell the children. Got 100. Got 100. Do I have 110 anywhere? This is worth well more than $100. I'm going to say 110 right now. 110, Maggie. Do I have 100? And the tequila comes, right? Okay. So do I have 120? Anybody 120? We got 120?
I'll do 150.
150. It's sold. Declared.
All right, this is from Jennifer, and this is Be a Hero at Your Office Today. Donuts, hot chocolate, bagels and cream cheese, coffee, silk creamer and real half and half creamer and
There's 3 different ways to cream your coffee in here. This is bizarre.
Or you can just drink it.
But I forgot alcohol, I'm sorry.
No, you didn't.
I know, I'm sorry, I forgot.
So this is Be a Hero at the Office, and these are lovely.
Our office is closed today. If I took this there, I'd be in deep trouble.
Okay, I'm gonna bid $50.
All right, got 50.
So, do we have 60? 60? 60?
Over here.
70? 70, Ian? 70, do we have 80? 80 to Ian?
That's interesting. How did that happen? Are you okay with that?
I'm sorry, 80? 80?
We got 80, Lori.
80.
Okay.
Lori, 90? We have 90? We have 90. I'll go 90.
He's got 90. All right, all right.
100. Do we have 100, Ian? Do we have? No?
He's still confused about what happened.
100, Lori? 100 to Lori. 110? Do we have 110 for lots of donuts and good stuff?
Obviously, advanced security isn't worth 110.
So you got 100, we got 100, is that correct? 100 over there?
The educator.
Do we have 110? Okay, 100 going once, going twice, sold to Lori.
So this is from AJ, and
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
okay, this is from President AJ. It's a branded water bottle, our logo on it, a yoga mat, and a $100 gift certificate at Om Shala Yoga.
So we should at least start there.
Yeah, I'm going to start it at 90 because I know you guys are scared of stretching, so I want to ease you into this. We got $90 here. Do I have $100? $100? Anybody? $100? $100? Got 100 in the back. Lori, do I have 110? 110. This is, how many of these bottles exist right now?
Maybe just a dozen left.
Oh! Got 110 here. Got 110. Do I have 120? Anybody? This is like one of the 12. There's not very many of these. 120. Anybody? Got 100. Don't scratch your face when I'm doing this. 110, right?
All right, yeah.
All right, we'll sell this for 110 unless anybody's going to argue with it.
Don't argue.
120. I like that. I like. You just have to put it right. Not another bid. Who wants to argue? And Chris was like, "Yeah, I'll do it." Okay. 120 going once. 120. 130. 130. 130. Do I have 140? Anybody? 140. 140. 140. Think about it. We got 140 over here. 150. 150. Right now. 150. No, I'm not going to make you bid against yourself. 140 go once, 140 going twice, 140 sold. Yeah.
Matt, you want to talk about this one?
Oh, yes, I think it's going to be.
Is there alcohol in it?
So Charlie George's not here today, so if you're not drinking Connecticut coffee, shame on you, but if you are and you're sick of it, I brought some Costa Rican coffee and chocolate and a mug and I think there's a magazine and some spare change that doesn't have any value at the bottom, so. For the retail value, this could be $300 or $400. The special bag, limited edition grocery bag too.
Was this your luggage coming back? You just
Pretty
threw
much,
everything in there?
yes. When you're dealing drugs in Central America, you gotta
Okay, really nice ceramic mug. This coffee has somebody's name on it already. So, Brett. Okay, so this is easily worth $50. $50. Let's start at 50. $50? 50, Kevin?
He meant that, right?
The candy's really good, by the way. There's some macadamia nut, chocolate covered nuts and something.
Oh, that's what this is.
Oh, that's good too.
Okay, chocolate, coffee.
It's like right at the airport gift shop.
There's all kinds of chocolate covered stuff.
At least he brought something.
That's right.
Okay, coffee, chocolate, ceramics, a bag.
You had a bid. Who
I
had
had
the
a
bid?
bid of 50 to Kevin, 60.
$50, are you kidding me?
$50, I know,
60,
come on.
60.
The tour guide bottom of the bag.
70.
There's a book in there too.
70 to Kevin, 80, we have 80.
Was there alcohol?
$80, 80, 70 to Kevin, 80, 90 to Kevin, 100, 100, 110 to Kevin. I mean, to anybody, obviously. You can get in on this too. 110?
And you know, if you go someplace that doesn't know their money, you might be able to get some alcohol in there.
It's 585 colonies to $1 right now. So
Not
You
enough.
just happen to know that, or?
I just happen to know that.
Wow.
I'm going to go drinking next
What's
week.
your bid?
Okay.
Remember what your bid is?
100. Do we have 110? 110. 100. Sold. Okay.
Yeah, look at that thing. Hey, fall is coming, so you can stoke your fires. That is a genuine Newman forged poker. I don't have anything to go.
Traditional auction item. This is beautiful. So, made by Craig. This is an heirloom. This is gonna outlive all of us.
Yeah, it's not an heirloom until we all die, right?
Thanks,
Just saying.
Earlier than you thought.
You know, that'd be fine. I don't need to do anything tonight. I'm cool. I can be fine.
So, beautiful fireplace poker made by our own Craig Newman. I'm gonna start this at 100. 100 to Ian.
Oh God, he's pointing. I'm not.
We have 110. 110. If you're 110, 120. If you're thinking about it, you should hold it because it's heavier than you think it is. It's so 120 to Kevin, 130, 130, 130, 140.
They're bidding it. You got
You're
two.
bidding, okay, 150.
Yeah.
150.
They can do a timeshare.
You know you've had the last 3 bids.
I don't care, I just don't want him to have it.
Okay, so 200 to Kevin. Do we have 210?
I'm gonna pay attention on my phone.
Okay, 200 to Kevin. Do we have 210? We have 210. Going once. Going
I
twice.
got 150.
Kevin's got it at 2.
I'll take you,
Yes.
210.
Okay, Kevin, 250.
I'll take that.
Matt, have some more coffee, Matt. Have some more coffee.
Okay, so we're down to 210.
There's been something that has been distinctly missing from this entire event today. We're going to rectify that problem here. This is, of course, some of the last stuff that I brought back from India, which is this embroidered handbag, which is really good for carrying alcohol, especially when you're in India, where in the state where we are, where there's no drinking allowed. But when I back from India, so since you're going to be in India, we have 2 books from with quotes from Gandhi, so you can read those. In English? Yes, they are in English. We have this handy dandy little cell phone case here or something, or your stash bag, or without container in today's world. We have this very fancy, it's actually a key hook. The peacocks are a common symbol in India. This metalwork is common in India. And since it,
This is a good part, Steve.
and this is a statue of Lord Ganesh. He needs to be facing the door of your room. So as you walk in, he is the first deity you see. The story of Ganesh is really interesting. Of course, the elephant on the human body. I won't get into the story now because I can't remember all of it, but it's pretty cool. And of course, since it is India,
CBS bag.
CBS bag. And what is in India? What was the old capital of India? Of course, was Bombay. So what large? Sapphire, gin.
Hey, you know what? You had me at Bombay. You could have
So that's really what you need. So, you're going to need this. Take down half of this, then read about Gandhi. So, Kevin, this is what you've been waiting for, right?
I'm not sure if he has that poker. He should. Oh no, you got the poker. Oh, good. Then you can have this. So I'm going to start this bidding. I'm going to start this bidding at $75. We've got 75 here. Do I have 100? Got 100 here. Do I have 110? 110, 120, 120. Anybody? 120. 20, 130, 130. Anybody? I'm going to drink it. If you don't. 130. Do I have 140? Silence.
We'll make it work a deal.
Okay. 130. So you're not bidding on this. You're bidding on the bag. Oh.
Kevin wants the bag.
So we've got 130.
Now, Kevin doesn't get the
140. I figured that was going to happen. 140. We have 140. You have 150 over here for Kevin to get the bag. I mean this. 150. At 150. Do I have 160? Anybody? So Kevin has to work for this a little more. I don't know how Kevin got involved in this. We should be buying him booze. 150. We've got 150 going once. 150 going twice.
Wait, is he really going to drink the gin?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're going to share it with our Aunt Marge.
Oh, well, if it's for Aunt
I love the sympathy card pulled out. I mean, go see Aunt Marge,
She's in marketing.
Poor Aunt Marge. Okay.
Yeah, Aunt Marge, huh? 200.
All right, we got a bid of 200. Do I have an answer to that comment about your Aunt Marge? What's that? 220. Oh, 220. Okay. This is good. Aunt Marge. Thank you, Aunt Marge. Thank you. Everyone should have an Aunt Marge. So I think Aunt Marge is going to get this for 220. Is that what we're saying? Sold to Aunt Marge. Eva. All right. So we're drum roll for the grand total.
What's in an Aunt Marge?
Check, I don't know. Take it to the Rotary Foundation and you can give me cash or check. Your credit card to me. Thank you very much.
So you came here with Kevin
On this day,
and Steve.
So I'll end this day with a quote: "Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserves of strength that will endure as long as life lasts." So, happy Friday, have a good weekend. See you at the fundraiser.